Question 11. Why do I get a class cast exception when I use Xerces and WebSphere application server? Answer. Xerces uses the object factory class to load some classes dynamically. For example, the parser configuration. The object factory finds the specified implementation class by querying the system property, reading meta inf/services/factory ID file, or using a fallback class name. After the implementation is found, the object factory tries to load the file using the context class loader, and if it is null, the object factory uses the system class loader. If you run Xerces in an environment such as WebSphere application server that has multiple class loaders, you may get class cast exceptions thrown from Xerces because different class loaders might get involved in loading Xerces classes. For example, class cast exceptions may occur when utility ER classes that use Xerces load Xerces classes from war modules. We suggest you read the Avoiding Class Cast Exceptions article, which explains a workaround for this problem. Also, you might want to read the J2EE class loading demystified article that explains how multiple class loaders work in WebSphere application server. Question 12. What should I be using instead of Xerces XML, HTML or XHTML serializers? Answer. As of the 2.9.0 release, Xerces J began sharing a common serialization code basis with Xalen and now includes serializer.jar with its distribution for DOM Level 3 serialization support. The entire org.apache.xml.serialize package was deprecated in Xerces 2.9.0. The HTML and XHTML serializers were previously deprecated in the Xerces 2.6.2 release. You can find more details about the rationale for this decision here in the archives. If you want to achieve interoperability and avoid using deprecated APIs, you should not be using Xerces serialization code directly. Instead, the JAXP transformer API should be used to serialize HTML, XHTML, and SAX. The DOM Level 3 Load and Save API, or JAXP transformer API, should be used to serialize DOM. Question 13. How do I turn on DTD validation? Answer. You can turn validation on and off via methods available on the SAX2 XML reader interface. While only the SAX parser implements the XML reader interface, the methods required for turning on validation are available to both parser classes, DOM and SAX. The code snippet below shows how to turn validation on. Assume that parser is an instance of either org.apache.xerces.parsers.saxparser or org.apache.xerces.parsers.DOMParser. Parser.set feature http://xml.org/sax/feature/validation. True. Question 14. Why is the parser unable to access schema documents or external entities available on the internet? Answer. The parser may not be able to access various external entities or schema documents, imported, included, etc. available on the internet, such as the schema for schemas http://www.w3.org/2001/xml schema.xsd or the schema defining XML base, XML lang attributes, etc. http://www.w3.org/2001/xml.xsd or any other external entity available on the internet. There are various reasons one could experience such a problem. One of the reasons could be that your proxy settings do not allow the parser to make URL connections through a proxy server. To solve this problem, before parsing a document, the application must set the two system properties, http.proxyhost and http.proxyport. Another reason could be due to strict firewall settings that do not allow any URL connection to be made to the outside web. The problem may also be caused by a server that is offline or inaccessible on the network, preventing documents hosted by the server from being accessed. Question 15. What JDK level is required for Xerces? Answer. As of version 2.10.0, Xerces requires JDK 1.3 or later to run and also requires JDK 1.3 or later to build the source code. Starting with the Xerces 2.11.0 release, the XML schema 1.1 experimental distribution requires JDK 1.4 or later to run and also to build the source code. Question 16. Does Xerces C++ support schema? Answer: yes. Xerces C++ 3.1.4 contains an implementation of the W3C XML schema language, a recommendation of the World Wide Web Consortium available in 3 parts: XML schema, primer and XML schema, structures and XML schema, data types. We consider this implementation complete. Question 17. Does Xerces C++ support XPath? Answer: Xerces C++ 3.1.4 provides partial XPath1 implementation for the purposes of handling XML schema identity constraints. The same engine is made available through the DOM document:"evaluate" API to let the user perform simple XPath queries involving DOM element nodes only, with no predicate testing, and allowing the // operator only as the initial step. For full XPath 1 and 2 support, refer to the Kolla and Apache Xalan C++ open source projects. Question 18. Why does my application crash when instantiating the parser? Answer: in order to work with the Xerces C++ parser, you have to first initialize the XML subsystem. The most common mistake is to forget this initialization. Before you make any calls to Xerces C++ APIs, you must call XML platform utils:"initialize". Question 19. Is it okay to call the XML platform utils:"initialize/terminate pair of routines multiple times in one program? Answer: yes. Note, however, that the application needs to guarantee that the XML platform utils:"initialize and XML platform utils:"terminate methods are called from the same thread. Usually the initial thread executing main, or proper synchronization is performed by the application if multiple threads call XML platform utils:"initialize and XML platform utils:"terminate concurrently. If you are calling XML platform utils:"initialize a number of times and then follow with XML platform utils:"terminate the same number of times, only the first XML platform utils:"initialize will do the initialization, and only the last XML platform utils:"terminate will clean up the memory. The other calls are ignored. Question 20. Why does my application crash after calling XML platform utils:"terminate? Answer: please make sure the XML platform utils:"terminate is the last Xerces C++ function to be called in your program. No explicit nor implicit Xerces C++ destruct or those local data that are destructed when going out of scope should be called after XML platform utils:"terminate.